in the first Market Wizards book, Paul Tudor Jones had a quote. He said, like, when he had his epiphany, right? It was to come, to go home each day, to make himself feel good, right? Or something like, I don't know the exact quote. There was something along those lines, right? Instead of carrying home all these, losses and, carrying all these positions and, it was like, that's stupid. I feel bad doing that. So why don't I not do that? Right? Why don't I not take these huge losses? Right? Why don't I trade small first? Why don't I, take tight stops or, that, this and that. Now, it's going to be different for everybody, but that's a perfect example of learning from your emotions, making your brain feel better. So you can't do this and feel crappy every day and feel stressed out all the time. That's not going to do any good. Right? And you're not going to be able to move on. So that was just a quick example in our last conversation.
Well, that probably leads to trader burnout. That's how traders just burn out and drift away.
Yeah, sure. You're going to need a break too every once in a while, just like an athlete. So getting back into the training thing, right? Before, a big swim meet or something, we'd always taper our bodies, right? Relax, let your body recover. You need to do that for trading too. You can't do this, 24 hours a day. I mean, you could, but you're not going to last very long. So it's important not to sit in front of the screen all day either. You'll be tempted to do things that you shouldn't be doing, right? The temptation is certainly there. You see the prices moving. Oh, if I just take a quick 10, 15 pips here, well, that turns into 100 pip loss. So, the differences between training and training, it's like, look before you jump, not when you jump, right? So the training is preparing yourself to act when given that if-then statement that Steve was talking about earlier. If this happens, what am I going to do? If that happens, what am I going to do? You can have all these plans in your head, but you don't know exactly what you're going to do until faced with that decision. Kind of like a quarterback reading all his routes, and getting, attacked, charged by a 300-pound defensive lineman, right? You can practice is totally different. You have a great, guy with an arm and, he's wearing the red jersey and stuff, and not getting hit. But once you get into the game, it's a little different, right? So I don't know. The differences are, you can't really tell until faced with making that decision, I would say.
Yeah, from my side, I'm going to cut things I'll pick up on. One, Michael, you mentioned this and Jamie picked up on it, just the idea around, rest, recovery and energy and fatigue, really. I mean, I've been involved in a few research projects where we've hooked traders up to biometric devices, looked at their levels of sleep, quality and quantity, stress levels, again, quality, quantity, recovery levels, quality, quantity. So I've been lucky that I've been able to see directly in real time the impact that things like volatility or trading large positions that are going against you or for you, because both have an impact on your nervous system, but to see that in real time and then to see the accumulation of that over time on traders' bodies. And we know that, intense trading periods, big positions that go against you and for you even, all this impacts the body. You see it in the data, and it's unsustainable. It's why athletes have off seasons. It's why they obviously have time to recover between events. And actually, in the work that I do with my trading clients, we try and build that in. So we talk a lot about, the trading physiology and how we manage that, the importance of sleeping well. Sleep, when you're sleep deprived, it affects your risk perception and your decision making. So there's a big impact if we don't get the physiology right. And some great work by John Coates from Cambridge University around that. Wrote a good book called The Hour Between Dog and Wolf, if people are keen for a read. On the training and the trading side, I think for me, trading is a performance activity, the same as sports are, the same as poker is, and therefore there's a training element if you're going to get good at them. The question is, what do I need to train in order to get good at the craft that I'm engaged in? So trading has some skills that are involved. There could be numerical skills. There also can be execution skills. There's a knowledge factor based on the products you're trading, the markets you're trading into. There's all that domain as well. Then you've got obviously the psychological skills. You've got, let's call it kind of the body skills, the physiology. So if you look at what it takes to be a successful trader and to be able to sustain performance over a long period of time, Then there's a skill level, there's a strategy, there's things around our state. So it's a pretty broad set of skills you need actually to do really well in a sustainable way. And I think the challenge for some traders is maybe they come to things in a bit of an ad hoc fashion. When I was involved in working with professional clients and we were involved on the training programs, much like it would be in sport, there's a structure, there's a progression, there's a continuity of learning, there's coaching, there's mentoring, there's training, there's feedback, there's analysis, evaluation. You're simulating, you're trying things out. So it's a more of a formalized process. And I think that's can be a big differentiator actually in people's success. How successful and how fast is down to the quality of the training experience. And actually, even like Michael in your golf example, am I even focusing on the fact that I'm on a training path, or am I, again, intention? Am I playing for fun? Turn up, hit a few golf balls, whatever happens, or am I trying to get better at golf? Is that my goal? And if so, if I want to get better at it, what does that mean? And what do I need to practice and improve in order to see that I'm getting better? So it's a very different mentality and an approach once you get into training.